It's 2 p.m. in Jerusalem. It's the vigil of the first Sunday of Lent, and the beginning of the solemn day is marked by the opening of the doors of the Holy Sepulchre to let in the procession of the Franciscans, the guardians of the holy place, who are accompanying and welcoming into the Basilica Monsignor William Cholmondeley, Auxiliary Bishop of the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem. The ceremony will be repeated every Saturday during this period of preparation for Easter. From St. Saviour's Convent, the friars reach the Latin Patriarchate, and the bishop walks with them to the holy place, greeted by a particularly large crowd of local Christians and pilgrims. It's really fascinating to be here right now.
I can't describe the feeling. It's really too emotional and too emotive. It takes breath.
It's an ancient rite that has brought together Christians for centuries, but it also amazes and fascinates the faithful of other religions.
It's wonderful to see people whose hearts are so full of God, and other people who have come from all over the world to make a connection with God.
The entrance into the tomb is a rite that has its roots back far in time, and it's intertwined with the history of the Franciscans, of the sanctuary and of the Holy Land. The vicar of the custody, Father Artemio, tells us more about it.
In 1187, Saladin conquered Jerusalem. The first thing he did was to break the bells of the Holy Sepulchre. The bell is the voice of God, and so he wanted in a certain way to eliminate the voice of God coming from the Christians. During 7 centuries, we have been without bells in the Holy Land. The second thing he did was to brick one of the 2 twin doors that we see behind us, with these words: "For the few Christians who will remain in the Holy Land, one door will be enough." From that time, the Catholics virtually disappeared, and until 1555, the only Catholics here were the friars. The third thing he did was to close the other door, and the Christians had to pay huge sums of money in order to enter. The solemn entry that we have enacted now is connected with this door. Usually the Holy Sepulchre was closed. Then came the pilgrims. The friars carried them in procession, and here, after having paid, they made their solemn entry. The friars came with the groups, and they received them at the stone of unction. Either the custos or his representative gave a sermon of welcome before the Holy Sepulchre, explaining what was the meaning of this crucial moment of their lives, because the Holy Sepulchre was the goal of their pilgrimage. After that, they did the procession.
Still today, the procession starts from the Chapel of the Blessed Sacrament or other apparition, and it continues through the Basilica, recalling various events of Christ's life, walking along the stones of memory. They go from the deepest point where St. Helen found the cross, up to the height of the Calvary and to the edicule containing the empty tomb, around which the procession walks 3 times, punctuated by the sound of the organ and the Gregorian chant lauding the resurrection of the Saviour.